Yo, what's going on, guys? Mush back at it with another video, here to talk about one of the bigger gaming stories in a little while. And I know you guys at this point, my audience, might not have the biggest attachment towards Call of Duty as an IP. However, the latest Call of Duty title in Call of Duty Black Ops 6 being a day one, or quote-unquote day one title on Xbox Game Pass is massive news, not only for Call of Duty, but really for the gaming industry and Microsoft's recommitment, or not even recommitment, they've been committed to Game Pass the whole time, but once again committing even deeper into Game Pass. And I do think this is news that is going to divide some people in terms of business strategy from Microsoft. Look, if you're just playing games on PC, if you're playing games on Xbox and you're a Game Pass subscriber, brothers, getting any kind of game added that you weren't expecting to have added or getting a new title added is always going to be a good thing. Increasing value proposition, you can't be mad at that unless it ties into something else, which I do think will be happening, and we'll get to that in a little bit. But let's first assess Call of Duty being added to Xbox Game Pass. Now, Call of Duty is obviously a major IP. It's a $70 game that every year sells millions upon millions of copies. However, Call of Duty as a franchise has evolved. It is very much going the more live service route, and a lot of live service games are actually free to play. They monetize those games on the back end, and the idea is you want a community, as big of a community as possible, invested into the game so you can start selling them microtransactions and things like that. Call of Duty will, I don't think, anytime in the foreseeable future go completely free to play, but offering it on Game Pass does act as a way to increase the value proposition on Xbox and on Game Pass. You're still offering the game for $70, and the bulk of the sales on consoles are going to be on PlayStation anyway. Not like this game is going to get baked into PlayStation Plus Extra. I don't foresee that happening. Maybe it will, as that was a part of the lawsuit that was going on, and all the things ongoing prior to Activision actually being acquired. But I don't think it's going to get added to PlayStation Plus Extra. I just don't think PlayStation wants that idea of $70 games being available day one on their platform in a subscription service. And also, you have to consider that Call of Duty is the type of game that people are going to buy on Steam as well. Some people will play it through Game Pass, but on PC, there's going to be a healthy number of people buying the game on Steam as well. So I don't actually think it's going to hinder the sales numbers too much, but once the toothpaste is out of the tube, once Call of Duty goes to Game Pass, it's going to be difficult to pull it from Game Pass and then maintain the same price point. That brings me to my next point. I do think this is a great opportunity. I'm not saying this is good for us, but Microsoft is absolutely increasing the price of Game Pass. Look, you don't get a lot of opportunities where something is happening and you are doing something big for a subscription service that will mitigate the rage that people will have for a price point increase. Look, Sony is upping the price point of their subscription service and lessening the value of their subscription service while upping the price point. You think Microsoft is going to exponentially increase value by adding one of the most prominent IPs in gaming history in Call of Duty and not up the price point? I don't think they are just going to increase the price point. Look, a lot of subscription services like to do like a 99-cent a month price upgrade, $1.99 or something like that. I could easily see this being a situation where it's a $4 to $6 upping of the price. I could easily see something where Xbox Game Pass on PC goes to something like $12.99 a month, and I could see Game Pass Ultimate going to $20.99 a month, like $20.99 or $19.99, whatever the deal is. I see an exponential price increase. To me, that's an exponential price increase with the addition of Call of Duty. Yes, they just said Call of Duty is coming day one to Game Pass because they want the positive PR right out the gate. They'll bring out another press release. I can already tell you guys, because it's always the same. To continue bringing value to our consumers, we are going to increase the price to reflect the value that we are now offering. Yay! That's what they're gonna say. That's what they always say. But Sony said that, and they literally, just crapped all over their audience and lessened the value of their subscription service, and it's just gotten worse and worse as far as that's concerned. However, Sly Cooper getting added to PlayStation Plus Premium, oh hell yeah, as far as that's concerned, that's a huge addition, although on PC you're just gonna emulate it, but I digress, that's a big addition, so at least they're doing some things right, but Call of Duty is kind of the final Hail Mary that they have. Like, what else can you do to increase value proposition? There's always stuff you could do, like, bro, like, you could try acquiring other stuff. You could put Game Pass on Steam, try to get that going, and that can obviously be another jolt. But we are getting to the point that the value proposition is relatively high with Game Pass, that to make a return on the investment, you gotta start upping that price point. And I think if you think that this price point ain't going up, you are absolutely kidding yourself. You are insane. And we already heard about the price probably going up. There was already reports about Xbox Game Pass seeing a price increase. You gotta up the price. It's not gonna be Call of Duty is coming to Game Pass and the price is just gonna remain the same. I highly doubt that's the case. Also, let us once again state, you are not getting the game day one. You are getting the delayed release. You want to play the game day one. You gotta upgrade to the Digital Deluxe Edition. You know they're finna do that. They would be foolish not to do that and then sell you this charade that you're getting the game day one. Like, let's be real here. You're not playing it day one. The game's ready to go when the Deluxe Edition buyers would be playing it for $100 or $110. Yeah, if you're a Game Pass subscriber, you can pay like $30, $40 to upgrade to the Digital Deluxe Edition, but that is what they do. Let us not kid ourselves, and I will reiterate it until the cows come home, because they can fool the masses. They ain't fooling me, baby. You ain't fooling me. I'm too dumb to be fooled as it is, so I think that's an oxymoron, but nevertheless, I do have one final point to make. With Game Pass as a subscription service, and I think with subscription services with gaming in general, with Xbox Game Pass offering so much content as far as games are concerned, I do think it's rather interesting in the case of a game like Call of Duty, where it is a game that people perpetually play. I don't even know if Game Pass is going to hinder the sales numbers of that game that much, because does Game Pass even become that attractive of an option to sign up for just Call of Duty, or for Call of Duty? Is Call of Duty gonna get people over the hump to sign up for Game Pass? Well, let's say that the price point is gonna be like $15 a month. I think for a Game Pass Basic, I think $15 a month is realistic with the addition of Call of Duty. Call of Duty is a game that the people that are into it are gonna play it year-round, and ultimately, if you play Call of Duty, chances are you're not playing a lot of other big games as an accessory to Call of Duty. Call of Duty is that game you play. It is that big title. And do you want to be in a position where you have to perpetually stay subscribed or you lose access? Or do you just want to buy the game once and then call it a day and then be on your way? I do think this is a case where, unlike a lot of other games, people are going to go the route of just buying the game to own it, because Call of Duty is a game that most people, at least you're playing it for 3 to 4 months. Like, I'm the kind of person that Call of Duty will come out and I'll play for 6 weeks, but most people, sensible people, are going to be playing it for 3 to 4 months, maybe even longer than that. It also begs the question, when you look at Game Pass and gaming subscription services as a style, especially the style that Microsoft does it, where there's so much content coming out, it gets you to think. Call of Duty is a game that people sink legitimately thousands of hours into. 1,000 plus hours. That's a regular, common thing. At the very least, 300 plus hours every year for a lot of the hardcore Call of Duty players. It's a lot different when you look at Call of Duty and you compare it to, let's say, other subscription services of other mediums, like a Netflix. Netflix releases one season of a show a year, and sure, they have a back catalog and whatnot, but one season, let's say 10 episodes, an hour an episode, that's 10 hours worth of content. When you're talking about Game Pass, really the issue at some point becomes the time investment. Like, if you're trying to get the most out of it, you're playing games like Call of Duty, you're playing all of these other games that are getting added, who's gonna have that level of time to sink into all of the additions? That's something I do think about, and especially with a game like Call of Duty getting added, made me think about it even more, because Call of Duty is this game where you're spending hundreds and hundreds of hours into, and the hardcore Call of Duty fans, again, they'll play that throughout the year, and they'll play a couple of other games throughout the year. Is Game Pass that value proposition for them in their worldview, in their gaming world, where they're playing COD and they're playing a couple other games a year? Game Pass might not even be the route to go, and
the more I think about it, I just think this can be potentially very effective. And I'm sure Microsoft has looked at the numbers, but Call of Duty gives you an excuse to up the price point pretty highly. I don't think sales are going to get cut that strongly of the game. I think it's still going to sell very well. It's going to sell incredibly well on PlayStation because it's not going to be offered in a subscription service, and I think it's going to do really well on Steam. And mind you, I think there's a chance it sells well on Xbox as well, even with it being available on Game Pass, and you use Call of Duty as a way to mitigate and lessen the rage online while you're upping the price and potentially exponentially upping the price. There's a lot of factors that I'm looking at, and I think this could be a really, really smart strategy for Microsoft when you assess it at all angles, because I don't think sales numbers are going to get cut that much. You're not really giving them day one access. You're potentially monetizing this game even more with a new audience checking it out, because the existing Game Pass subscribers, maybe this will give them a reason to jump back into COD, and guess what? You got a couple people that are suddenly spending more money, upgrading the Digital Deluxe, buying more content, reinvested into COD. Could be a very, very effective way in extending COD's appeal. Although that appeal is obviously always going to be there, but I think from a strategy standpoint, a business strategy standpoint, best case scenario, this could be very effective. And I know, obviously, best case scenario of doing anything, it's going to be rather effective. But there's a lot of layers to it, and I actually see where Microsoft is coming from for sure. The argument can be made, how much are you going to affect the sales of these games? You're talking about a franchise that sells millions and millions of copies every year at $70 a pop, but I do think sales aren't going to be affected as much as some people might think they are, and it gives them a reason to up Game Pass's price, which I think is more important than anything right now. If you can up it, have an excuse to up it by $3 to $5, that's a substantial price increase, while hopefully not losing your subscriber base either. But that'll do it for me. Let me know all of your thoughts in the comments section down below. I think this is a smart idea, and I'm super curious to see where this goes after Black Ops 6 drops with its fake day one access on Game Pass. But let me know your thoughts down below. As always, guys, thanks for watching, and I will catch you guys in the next one. Peace out. Hey, what's going on, guys? Mush here again. Hope you enjoyed the video. As you guys might know, YouTube's notification system is sometimes a little bit wonky, even if you're subscribed to the channel. Maybe you're not abundantly aware that I uploaded a video. To remedy that situation, make sure you hit the bell notification button. This way, whenever I upload a new video, and I try to upload as consistently as possible, you will be notified directly of the upload, and you can watch it as soon as it goes live. I would really appreciate if you guys hit that button so you can stay up to date with all of the content I'm posting. But as always, guys, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out.